What's going on, everybody? This be your boy DJ Anonymous with Sports Biz Music, the podcast, episode 95. And I got a special guest on the show today. Finally, the best engineer, not only in Miami, but in my opinion, Florida. Cause you know everybody, dog. My boy D.Shim, man. Thank you for coming on the show, dog.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
How you been doing?
Great.
I see you grinding and stuff like that. But before we get into the questions and everything, like introduce yourself to the people that may not know about you.
For the people who don't know me, I'm a producer, engineer. Been having my own business, my own studio for 8 years. Work with a little bit of everybody. You know, I mainly work from Miami, and I got a lot of work in Atlanta, Georgia. So mainly just making music, engineering, and doing my thing.
That's what's up, man. So tell us about the beginnings. Like, what made you want to get into music and stuff like that?
I first started in middle school. I was in the band.
Mm-hmm.
I started playing the trumpet, and that's why I got like my whole music background. And then I went to Robert Morgan High School, and one of my friends introduced me to a program called Fruity Loops.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, it was called Fruity Loops, and I just fell in love with it. So my senior year, I took sound engineering as an elective, and at that moment, I was like, "This is what I want to do for the rest of my life." And then from there, I went to Full Sail, and I took recording arts as a major. And yeah, that was it. That was the beginning.
So who was like your I guess your first artist that you ever worked with?
My first artist that I ever worked with. I remember when I was in school. Shout out to the Dunk Riders. They hit me up. They was like, "Oh, that boy." I wasn't even going by D.Shim at the time. I think I was going by Trackmaster at the time. And they was like, "Oh boy, he about to get out of school," and he brought me to the Dunk Rider studio. I got to meet Trick. And I think it was actually Casino who actually brought me into to Dunk Rider. So that was like one of the first people I worked with, like upon graduating school when I started taking music seriously.
Was it like nerve-wracking, like working with a legend like Trick Daddy?
Yeah. I was like, "Oh snap, that's Trick Daddy right there." He just walked in the door. I tried to be cool, you know what I'm saying? I was like, "Oh snap." I grew up I still listen to him, and I'm like in the studio with him. And it was like right around here. It was somewhere in Kendall, but I don't remember exactly where it was at.
Right. So you had like any like, you know, get into the music and stuff, like you had any like producers that you looked up to, like the Dre's, the Swiss Beats, etc.
Manny Fresh, that was like one of my main influences. Like Manny Fresh with that 808.
Yeah.
What was that song? 15, then See No Why. Then I heard Boom for them.
Still Fly.
Yeah. Hearing songs like that and hearing the 808, you know, like Zaytoven, Shawty Red, like that's what inspired my sound. Like all them 808s, heavy Southern music.
Yeah. So you was more influenced, like, you know, a lot of people don't consider, I don't know why Miami not Southern no more. I guess because of the new sound, but, you know, you one of the few, you know, producers that's still influenced by the Southern music world.
The Southern music,
the
man.
old school Miami, you know, way, and just trying to bring it to the new wave, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, dog. And then, like, name like a list of people that you worked with so far.
Oh, that's gonna be a long list, man. How long this show is? You gonna be sitting here. I could go like some of the bigger names, you know, for the people who might not know some of the inner city Miami artists. Like I got a chance to work with DJ Khaled and the first lady, We the Best. Her name is Steph LaCour. She's actually on Love and Hip Hop Miami right now. Who else I got a chance to work with? YFN Lucci. And I was working with YFN Lucci before he was hot.
Before he blew up.
Before he blew up, when Rich Homie Quan was the man at the time. And actually, a funny story about that, I was trying to work with Rich Homie Quan so bad, and they was like, "Oh, Rich Homie Quan out of town, but we got a next artist coming up. His name YFN Lucci." I'm like, "YFN Lucci? No, I want Rich Homie Quan, man." And that goes to show you can't really sleep on people, you know what I'm saying? You never know, like, you can't take nobody for granted. You never know who next to blow. So I also worked with YFN Lucci, Bankroll Fresh. I got a chance to work with him like 3-4 times before he passed away, you know what I'm saying? Some of the bigger Miami names, let's see, you know, I played a big role in Mike Smith's career. He just got signed to Slip and Slide, been there from day one. Let's see, Young Scooter from Atlanta, Georgia. I've been in the studio with Flo Rida, been in the studio with Gorilla Zoe, Billy Blue, Iceberg, Ball Greasy, from down south to all, like, too many names.
And how is it, like, working with different individuals, different personalities? How is it?
I mean, everybody's different. I noticed the people like in the industry, they have like unlimited studio time, so their sessions are a little different. You know what I'm saying? The activities, the workflow is a little different too, as far as them being able to create on spot. They have so many producers sending them beats on the time, opposed to me working with the local community, and they have like a certain amount of time, and they gotta early be prepared. So that I'll say is the difference, like having more resources and more time to work on their music.
And it's never like a pressure, like, you know, they let you do what you do, or it's like
sometimes like I gotta know my place too at the same time. Like I'm not saying stay in my place, but like know my lane, because I would try to give my opinion, but they already got their establishment going, and I'm just here to help and assist until I start building my name. And it's not until recently, like now they're starting to listen to me and my guidance and my direction, no matter big or small.
That's what's up, though. And then let's move into entrepreneurship real quick. You know, talk about Vibes Out Studios. And you also got your own Shimmer. Like, what was the importance of, you know, having your own studio, having your own business at the time, especially when you was working on music?
Because I did an internship at a studio called Audio Vision, and I did this internship for about 4 months. But the thing about it was I wasn't getting paid for it. So I was like, man, I need to take a different route. So I opened up a studio in the back of my parents' house, and I just ran with my name D.Shim. So I just ran with the name D.Shim Productions. Did that for like 3 months. And from there, I was like, man, I wanted to expand. So I was like, I'm going to get my own building. And I still ran with D.Shim Productions for 2 years. And then I got another building. And then I was like, you know what? I want to expand even more. I don't want the studio to be known for me. I want to make a new name, something catchy. And then one of my homeboys, he go to FIU, he was like, most successful companies got 2 syllables in his name. And I ain't really think about it. Like, you want to go to the grocery store, you want to go probably like the Walmart, or you want to buy some new shoes, like Nikes or some Reeboks. And prior to me changing the studio name, I was doing artist showcases last year.
Yeah, I remember that. I was trying to come out there and stuff, but everything always trying to come up.
I was doing events called In the Vibe.
You still doing those?
I did 3 years, but it's very stressful, man. Throwing events, picking the right artists, having the right show times, booking the venue, and having everything. Like, it's stressful, but I actually did accomplish a lot last year. So with that name In the Vibe, I made the name Vibe Out for my studio name, and that's what I've been running with. And that was about, I think, last year. That was last year.
And how was like the reaction with, you know, with the artists and stuff, you know, seeing that you know, involved in things like that? Because you worked with a lot of people, but now it's like, but at the same time, it's like when I see you, it's like you always cater to the local artists. So how do they respond to you, like working with them and things of that nature? Because, you know, everybody see you as like this big mogul person already, you know, coming from Dade County.
Yeah.
You know, so like I know a lot of people.
That's why I think a lot of people, they value my opinion, and they respect me because they see I got one foot in the industry. I could be working with YF and Lucha. I could be in the studio with DJ Khaled. I could be in the studio with 808 Mafia, TM88, and then I could come back to the local community. So I think a lot of artists, they value my word and my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
because shout out to Knucklehead for, you know, having this, you know, doing this interview and stuff like that, helping with the interview.
Yeah.
But like I even had, you know, we even talked about it like. You know, because on my show, like, I actually interviewed people in the industry as well. And, like, they just like us, you know, having conversations, you know, eat the same places and everything. But it's some artists, you know, that come up and they think that, you know, they're already there versus someone who's already been there, but they don't have that same, like, flashy, you know, they humble. You know, why you think it's some artists, especially down here, that's, like, kind of big-headed?
I don't know. I guess a lot of artists, or I ain't gonna say a lot of artists, but
it's not a lot.
I'll say some artists get caught up with the idea like faking it till you make it.
Right.
But the whole thing with that concept is like you only faking the people who's not in the industry and who's not doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The people who's really in the industry and really doing it, they know. And it's like really machines out here and really labels out here studying these numbers and knowing who's doing it. So I feel like that's like a waste of time faking it till you make it. It's like it's wasting energy. You're wasting time trying to put up with this look, trying to make this look instead of just working in your craft and really getting to where you need to go to, going and getting to where you need to get to. You feel me?
Right, yeah, that's what's up, man. So let's go to the list.
Okay, I know this is bread and butter. Everybody want to hear.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot it was I forgot the name of the podcast, but they came out with the top 50, which to me was disappointing because they ain't even have Ludacris on there.
Oh yeah, that's how it really started. You know, then they had Joe Budden number 3. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's just crazy. But then, Big Chuck had got like a list from somewhere else. And only had like 2 down south artists, so you made your own list with every your top 50 artists from down south.
See, it wasn't my top 50, but you keep going, keep going. That's what people think. That's what people think, man.
So what was the motivation about it? You know, because a lot of artists from down here always get overlooked. So what was that?
That was the main thing. I seen like Big Chuck make a list, top 50 Miami artists. I don't know if Big Chuck made it, but I seen him post a list of 50 Miami artists, and I noticed it was only 2 artists from down south on that list. So I said, out of all these 50 people, only 2 people from down south. So I was like, man, there's something wrong, man. And I just wanted to shed some light, and I'm like, bring to the attention that it's some more artists down here that got, if not the same amount of views, there's some with more views than some of those guys on that Miami list.
Yeah, because there's even some that's from like the Kendall area, like we like to call them the backpack rappers.
Yeah.
And it's like people don't realize like Kendall's like how it is. Like it's big. It's a lot of it's a lot of Hispanics and stuff, but it's also a lot of black and it's a mixture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, like I miss I'll talk about some of the few ones that I miss right now. We gonna get into how I came up with the list and everything, but I know some artists from Kendall, like I know for sure I missed the artist named Icy Narco. Icy Narco is an artist from I believe from Kendall, and he was nominated for XXL Freshman. Right. But I just wasn't too sure on what neighborhood he claimed to rep, because I never really heard him in the interview. But I know if I think he's from down this way. Nominated for XXL Freshman, and he got like millions and millions and millions of views. There's another artist named Old Trap Star. He's from, I think he jumped in my comments when I had posted that list too, and he got like millions and millions of views, and they all from Kendall.
Yeah, because.
And I know for sure another one too I missed out too was Puya. Puya's from Kendall, and he's dumb lit, like crazy. I
heard some of his music, and like I remember at one of his projects, he had like it was like a Cadillac, and it was like you see the behind. I'm like, this man from the crib. I think he from down south. Down south is more. You got more of the land and stuff down here, so it's just like it's so many artists from down here that people don't realize it,
So many artists, and I just realized by me working with all these artists on a daily basis, and a lot of them don't have no outlet or resources even to get to another part of Miami, opposed to the whole world and stuff like that. So I just wanted to share some light. That's how I got that list. Now this list, it wasn't really based on who I think is gonna blow and who's talented. I think that's where the whole misconception came from, that list. The day before I posted a list of 50 blanks, and I want all you guys to tag me in some artists that you think is top in Miami. Right. So those guys kind of got priority on my list. I was like, damn, I'm seeing guys with tags, artists I never even heard of. Right. So I say, let me check out these artists. Did my research on them. So I say, how can I make a list not having an opinion and not anything subjective. So I was gonna first do it by Instagram followers, but I think that's like the number one thing artists usually do is they fake the Instagram followers.
Yeah, they do.
So I didn't want to go off of that. So I said, even though I found out now you could fake anything online, you know what I'm saying? Any kind of streams, even album sales. Yeah. So I said, let me just get one piece of information, which was total YouTube channel count. How you do that is you go on the artist page and you go, you click on the About section, and then I just took the total amount of views of an artist, and I put it in an Excel chart. I put the artist name and then the total view count.
How long did it take you to do that?
It took me so long. That's how I was like, damn, the negative attention I was getting. Like, I really took time on this list, you feel me? Like, I really did it, like, coming from a label perspective. And that's why I guess so many people are against the labels and against so much of the bigger platforms, because they go more or less off of data. They go off of metrics. And that's how labels are signing people now. They're going off of how much engagement this is going. Not if this guy looks good or he got a good image or this dude got good music, good bars and stuff like that. They're going off of strictly numbers because it's a risk. If I'm going to put up money, I got to know for sure I'm going to get this money back. Right. So I made the list from a label perspective and kind of an insight of how labels will see artists down south. And that might be a little issue. Some of the guys I've noticed doesn't have that many views, and that's why maybe none of the labels really even came down here.
Mm-hmm.
So by me making the list, even to shed some awareness, like, damn, maybe we do need to get our numbers up.
Mm-hmm.
And for the ones that do have their numbers up, I wanted to show that list to all the people that follow me and people who could potentially